Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the annual general meeting of the South Wales branch of the British Computer Society. It's Wednesday, the 16th of November. This is our 2022 AGM, looking back over our previous year and forward for our membership and branch committee for the coming year. So first of all, I'd just like to ask everyone, as you've already done, if you could keep your cameras and your mic switched off for the time being. There is a chat facility, so if you do have any burning questions, if you want to drop them into the chat, someone from our branch committee will be able to answer any of those questions as we're going through. We normally ask for any AOB, any other business, at the end to be notified to us within a few days of the AGM. However, as we're all here, it's online and we can put it in the chat. If you do have any other business that you'd like to bring up, again, please just drop that in the chat and we'll bring it up before we finish this evening. Our standard agenda for the AGM is apologies for tonight's proceedings. Minutes of last year's meetings will be at least signposted to you. We won't be going through the minutes this evening. The chair's report then will include a little chat about our branch committee, what we've been up to for the past year, our events and activities, talk to you and signpost you to our social media and our website. We'll then have a look at our branch membership numbers for this year, which we're very excited about. Treasurer's report, a little bit about our upcoming events for the year, future directions and strategy for the branch, both the committee and for our membership and the BCS across the UK, the election of our committee members for the coming year, and then any other business. So just start with the apologies for the meeting this evening. I've received apologies from Rob Ludman, who is our Industrial Engagement Officer on the branch. Thank you, Rob, for letting us know. I'm not aware of any other apologies. Let me just give it a second in case our secretary has anything he can put in the chat. I think that's it. Or Ed Swires Hennessy, who is a regular for our annual general meeting, also gives his apologies. So the minutes of our last AGM are available on our branch website, as are all the AGM minutes for the past at least 5 years, and you'll be able to look through and look at all the things that we've covered in previous chairs' reports. I've not received any questions or anything regarding the minutes, so I'll give everyone a second. If you have any issues or if there is anything you'd like to raise, please put that in the chat now. Otherwise, I'll continue. Okay, thank you very much. So our branch website, which we'll come to in a second, is part of the main BCS website. It includes a number of things that are useful to the branch, including events, the current committee members, and that will be updated now after this AGM with our new committee. So our committee meetings in general, we meet the first Wednesday of every month. They are open to anyone who wishes to join. So if you did want to come along and see what our meetings, our monthly meetings were all about, you just need to drop me an email, and the email address will be given to you at the end of the presentation. And we can make sure that you're given the link to come along to the meeting. Since March, we've been running everything online, which has made things a lot easier because we have quite a diverse location for all our branch members, or our committee members, I should say. We used to run our monthly meetings at the company's house in Cardiff, but some of our committee members hail from Port Talbot, some of us from Newport, some from Cardiff. So bringing everything online over the last couple of years has been really helpful. It also means that we can now record our monthly meetings, and they could be made available if they were needed. We've had 11 committee meetings since our last AGM, and we tend to run our meetings from September through to August or through to July. We take August off and then we start again. So we are a very active committee, and we ensure that we meet regularly and we discuss not only the events, but some of the other things that we'll be talking about this evening. So our current committee members, just to very quickly run through these, as there will be a few changes this year to the membership of the committee. So myself, Andy Bellamy, I'm the branch chair. This will be hopefully my third year, or my third session as being chair, if I'm voted in again this year. Jeremy White is our branch vice chair and events coordinator. Paul Bulmer, our branch vice chair and STEM coordinator. So I get the support of two vice chairs, which is very helpful, both years of experience and knowledge, and have been, well, they've been, I would be lost without both of them, either of them. Mike Warman, our branch secretary and branch membership secretary. Mike joined us last year, as did Jonathan Fish, our branch treasurer. Neil Sidnell, who came onto our committee last year, is a branch representative. Fred Long, who is the Mid Wales branch chair, but co-ops onto our committee. And again, his wealth of knowledge and experience is really, really helpful. Rob Ludman, who gives us apologies this evening, is our branch industry and liaison officer. And Lauren Watts-Keane was our branch early careers and inclusion and diversity officer. Now I will come to the new roles and the new committee later on in the presentation, but there are a number of changes, which does mean that there are a number of roles that will become available to us. First off, I'd like to give a massive thank you to Jeremy, Lauren, and Neil, who are, for reasons they have decided to retire or step down from the committee as of this AGM. Lauren and Neil, Lauren had been in the committee for a number of years. Neil was a work colleague that I've known for many years. Both of them were a great asset to the team, and I'm very sorry to have seen both of those have to step down. As for Jeremy, and Jeremy, I've put a lovely picture of you there that I think I found on LinkedIn. A very, very special thanks to Jeremy. Jeremy really has been my mentor on the committee for many years. He, in many ways, he recruited me to this position as chair. He will be sorely missed when he steps down now after this event this evening. And I'm hoping that we can still drag him along to, well, certainly social events. And we'd certainly like to, Jeremy, we'd love to take you out for a meal and a few drinks to say thank you. And I know, I'm sure you'll be up for that. Jeremy has been a member, as far as I'm aware, since 1998. Roughly 25 years. I don't know whether that's true, Jeremy. I don't know whether you want to comment on that or not. 25 years of being part of the committee. I was asking Paul for some stories, and certainly both of us can agree that whatever Jeremy put his mind to, there's no point doing a job unless you're going to do it properly. That's certainly the case. By all accounts, when you were asked once to take a scout group hiking and mountaineering and camping, you decided to take them to Everest Base Camp. So I don't know if that story is true, but that sounds like the type of person that Jeremy is if you're going to do a job, do it properly. So thank you again. And we look forward to sharing a few drinks to say thank you from all the committee. Mostly true, he said. 3 of them summited on Everest. Wow, fantastic. Yeah. Right. branch activities and events over the last year, we've been very busy, and considering we have sort of moved on from the back end of the global pandemic, we feel we've done a fantastic job, to be fair, blowing our own trumpet, of getting these events in the calendar. We have still remained as webinars rather than face-to-face, although our joint IET and Southeast, our joint event with IET Southeast in June of this year was a face-to-face event held at the University of South Wales Atrium in Cardiff. It was a fantastic event, drinks, reception, the works. The IET certainly know how to put on a good show. But the rest of our events have all been webinars, and they've been very successful, very pleased with the number of people that attend these events. And what's more, we're able to record them and produce them on our YouTube channel, or the BCS UK's YouTube channel, which means that those people that cannot attend can at least go back and watch them. We try and keep our events to be within areas that are of interest to our members. So if you had a specific type of topic that you'd be interested, or subject, maybe you have something yourself that you would like to present for us, then please do get in touch. I'm going to pick up on that a little bit later as well, very briefly, because we do need your help in making sure that our events are not only current, but going forward, we are looking for more help in terms of accommodating and our guest speakers, etc. So some of the other amazing events that we've had over the past year, the future of our education. We had our annual, as it would appear, our annual adventure in cybersecurity, led by some of colleagues in the University of South Wales in partnership with Thales NDEC. We had a really informative talk from our colleagues, Neil Sidnall, around the cyber reserves, and he talked about the time that he's been working in the reserves from 2014 to 2021. Lots of experience and information he was able to give us there. And the cyber reserves is a fantastic way of getting into a career in cyber, as well as doing something great for the country. Finding FinTech, so a really informative talk around financial technology and the FinTech industry. Really important to what we're doing within BCS South Wales, and more to come on that later. An introduction to the archives of IT, an introduction to compound semiconductors. Again, that was our joint IET Southeast talk. And most recently in September, we had a quantum computing talk, again, fascinating, from an ex-member of the industry working alongside real life quantum computing. I now wanted to talk a little bit about some of the special projects that we've been doing over the last year. So it's not just about the events that we try and host and the guest speakers. As a branch ourselves, we try and get involved with as much as we can out in the community. And over the last few years, both Paul and Jeremy have been building this wonderful project group around robotics and STEM, which they've then taken out into schools, into careers fairs or science fairs, exhibitions, conferences. So some of the work that they've been doing around that is absolutely phenomenal. They've recently started getting everything bilingually presented as well. So now we're looking at being able to deliver this outreach project in the medium of Welsh. And again, throughout schools in the Southwest East region. The aim of the project, which kind of started maybe 4 years ago actually, was to link in with some of the schools and the science fairs that we already had a kind of in with, particularly things like Techniquest down in Cardiff, to try and encourage young learners, families, anyone basically that wanted to get interested in computing, but give them something practical that they could actually get their hands on, something that they could play around with and be able to kind of put that into context with computing in today's modern society. And we stumbled across robotics, and in particular the use of Lego Mindstorm kits, which we knew a lot of schools and colleges were already using and had been funded. So that was a great way of us building our relationships with the schools and with the education across the region. And the project is basically sort of twofold. It helps educators, teachers themselves, give them the skill set or help them to come up with lesson plans, working with the robots, using the stuff that for some of these schools is there in a filing cabinet somewhere that they're not sure and haven't used in years. So giving them that opportunity and those tools to actually get them out in the classroom and use them with their learners. And then the second part is for actual team to deliver the classes themselves. So over the last couple of years, obviously that's not been in person, but they've been able to deliver via webinars to classrooms, to exhibitions and to science fairs, and to get that message of using robots as an educational tool across to various people in the industry and in education. So delivering online, the having to, I use that phrase, pivot to put what we had developed over the last 4 years into something that could be then delivered online. That obviously took a lot of time and effort, and we are absolutely super grateful to everyone on the events team and the project team that work with Paul and Jeremy to get that done. And a lovely bit of feedback there. And this one sort of came around the houses. This was an interesting one. I'll read it out. I presented at a teacher CPD yesterday where a teacher, Elaine from Tonguinlas, spoke in a session on how to integrate STEM ambassadors and STEM in the classroom. Her glowing comments and example was of our BCS STEM team and the wonderful impact that your session had on her pupils. You have a fan base there. One pupil, Ethan, has always had a fixed ambition to be a rock star until your workshop, and after that he now wants to work in the steelworks in Port Talbot as a robotics programmer. To put some context in there, Paul hails from the Port Talbot steelworks for many years. What a fantastic bit of feedback there, sort of saying really that it's not just about what we've done, but it's how it's translating and how that message is being carried from one event, one teacher to other schools. And that's a really nice compliment and a great bit of feedback for us. Looking ahead, we have many future activities already in the pipeline: science fairs, conferences, exhibitions. We will be taking part in the DVLA Code Challenge, where the BCS branch will have come up with an actual challenge that the participants can then get involved with. That will be on the 6th of December. We'll also be looking at further events, further challenges as we look into 2023. So if you've got experience in developing training packages, education, particularly online webinars for young learners, maybe you've got programming experience, you've worked with robotics, whether that's Lego robotics or any accessible kind of robotics and engineering, delivering STEM support or any type of outreach, then please do get in touch with us. I can put you in touch with Paul, and it would be a great asset to us in the branch to have more people involved. If you did want to get involved with the STEM project, you don't have to be a BCS member. You certainly don't have to be a member of any particular level. So if you are watching this event back and you are interested in getting involved, then please email us. Email me using the South Wales Chair email address there, and we'll have a chat and see how we can work together. So a little summary then of the project. The main area of the outreach has been in the South Wales area, run by our South Wales branch, and in particular Paul and Jeremy. And Paul, I'm not sure what you're going to do now without Jeremy. Yes, Paul will need a new friend to help him. Membership of the group has changed over the years. We have people that are involved with doing the videography, doing the editing, doing the sound, and they all come together. There are a lot of people to mention, and Paul would be best to do that. But if, as I said, if you are interested, please let us know and we can get you involved. Okay. One of the other projects that we've recently been asked to get involved with is something called My Digital Future. It's part of the new created charity, the BCS is new created charity, the BCS Foundation. And as part of that, My Digital Future is about helping those people who maybe don't have the same access, or they are looking to begin their career in computing but aren't sure about how to get involved. Maybe it's access to computing, access to education, maybe it's just coaching to get you on the right path. So My Digital Future is all about that. So the South Wales branch is going to be part of one of the UK's pilot areas. At the moment, it's running in London, and we are the next region that have been asked by BCS headquarters if we would like to be part of this project. I've been fortunate enough, as well as my colleague Mike Warman, to do some training courses around coaching of young learners and college-age students to help with this project. But there's also an opportunity for you as members and friends of members, or family of members, to get involved as well. So we're looking for individuals and organizations who might be able to offer training, development, maybe through networking events or work experience. It could be a week long to maybe graduate positions that you can help learners get into. Maybe you've got materials, training courses, books, kit, equipment. And as the program grows, more and more, we'll be looking to encourage more coaches to get involved, and the coaches will be able to work with these individuals from these diverse demographics to encourage them to get involved in STEM and in computing. We're also looking for people to potentially make donations or grants to the program through a variety of different mechanisms. Again, if you're interested in that, please, or you feel you might be able to contribute, do get in touch. The note there from BCS, every £3,000 can set a young person up to finally break into the digital career pathway that they have sought for so long. And they have worked out there that £3,000 would be able to do that. So we're not really looking for much. There's a lot of funding that's been created already by the work that the foundation is doing. So as I said, it doesn't have to be money. You can contribute in a number of ways. I'm looking forward to getting involved. And if it's something that you might be interested in, please do get in touch. Other ways that you can find out about what we're doing is through our branch social media and our website. The Mid Wales branch and the Chester and North Wales, which are our two closest colleagues. We also work closely, or we have done in the past, with our Bristol branches. We're active on social media. We have a Twitter account, BCS South Wales, and we also have a LinkedIn group as well. Now, if you're interested in joining either of those, please do. These slides can be made available to everyone. They will be on the YouTube video, but you can just search for us as well. If you search for BCS South Wales, you'll find us on both Twitter and on LinkedIn. Please do follow us. We use it to post about events, projects, competitions. It's a great way to follow what we're doing. Okay, I'd now like to hand over to Mike Warman, our branch secretary and our membership secretary, who's going to talk to you a little bit about our fantastic numbers for this year. Mike.
Thanks very much, Andrew. Good evening, everybody. Sorry again for the technical difficulties first thing in the meeting. So as you can see from the numbers, our total number of members has increased significantly this year, driven predominantly by a massive increase in student membership. We've had an additional 1,600 members join as students, within the large number of universities that we currently have. There have been some changes in the membership in the last few weeks as well, where BCS is consolidating and reorganizing their membership. So those numbers have changed again, and we've actually managed to get another 5 new members in the last week. I'm not sure where they've come from, but there is actually a discount code that we're able to provide you if you know somebody that would like to become a member of the BCS, and we can give them a 20% discount. They just need to enter a code when they actually signed up for their membership. Does anybody, that's it from me, does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like me to explain about the membership that we have at the moment? And the big thing is that the grade distribution is very skewed because of the large number of students we have and the large number of further and higher education establishments we have in South Wales. You can see that the age group is predominantly 2025. The undisclosed gender is an interesting one. That changed significantly with the new intake, the new cohort of students. We'll be hoping to reach out to them and perhaps set a branch chapter up specifically for students in some of the universities, perhaps get them to work together. If nobody's got any questions, that's it from me, Andrew.
Thanks very much, Mike. That's really, really great news. I mean, looking at those figures and reporting on it last year, that we'd had a slight dip in numbers from the previous 2020 year, and then seeing these numbers now, how much they've increased. The BCS across the UK has been making a massive concerted effort to reach out to universities, particularly those that have an associated degree that is certified or accredited by the BCS, and I think a lot of the numbers, the student numbers there, have come from Cardiff University, just down the road. So thank you very much to all those students that have joined. For anyone that is on the call that is not actually a member, or if you know someone who is a student and considering becoming a member, the rates for membership at student level have been created in such a way as to try and encourage as many new members as possible. I believe that if you wanted to sign up for 1 year, it's £10. And if you wanted to sign up for the whole 3 years of your undergraduate degree, it's now £20. And I believe there's also further discounts if you want to then continue for postgraduate study or even for research posts. So if you are interested, there is more information on the BCS main website around membership, but you can also contact myself. I can put you in touch with our secretary, Mike, and I'm sure we would be happy to talk through that and answer any questions. As Mike said, there are a number of discount codes that we have as well. So if you do have friends or family that are considering joining the membership, please let us know, because a 20% discount, particularly at these trying economic times, every little helps. I'd now like to talk to you. I would now like to pass over to Jonathan, if you are on the call. Jonathan is our treasurer, and I just would like Jonathan to explain a little bit about our budget for the coming year.
Yeah, sure. Good evening, everyone. I won't just read out the figures because you can read them on the screen, but I think the sort of the highlights, as it were, are that there was significant underspend across the BCS last year because of COVID, because lack of face-to-face meetings, so less cost involved. So the budget allocations have come down this year. So 2022 to 23, you can see it's less than half of the previous budget allocation, but also the way that the student prizes and sponsorships are allocated, they're not allocated in the budget figure now, so that's reduced that as well. So it is what it is, and other funding requests can be made if we need them as we go through. But typically we're looking at sort of online meetings now, which are significantly cheaper than face-to-face. So that would account for that. But any questions or details I can provide separately. But that's the overview.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Yeah, if you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat, and I'm sure Jonathan will be able to answer them. an important point, just following on from something Jonathan said there, the student prizes that we give to some of the universities in the region will continue, but we'll apply for that funding directly from headquarters rather than it sitting in our own budget account. So we'll still have access to that funds and be able to offer those prizes. What is an interesting point, as Jonathan mentioned, is as we try and move away from online webinars and we're looking more towards having face-to-face and physical events, we are now having to consider the cost of venue hire. In the past, we've been able to use facilities that have been donated to us, if you like, for the evening, free of charge. However, a lot of companies, organizations, universities, etc., are all feeling the tight grasp on their purse. And that has meant that even those that in the past have offered us free event space have now had to well, basically think again about how they charge. And that goes the same for catering. We always like to offer you sandwiches, you know, not just crusty sausage rolls and crisps. We do like to go to these venues and offer something nice for our guests. So that again has affected how we go forward in terms of where we put our events. I'll mention this now, I guess, as we're here. If anyone on the call, or if you're aware of anyone, friends, family, workplaces that might be able to help us in accommodating us for any guest speakers, maybe just as the accommodation, not necessarily as the guest as well, anything that you can do to help us as a branch. We are, after all, a charity. Those people on the committee, we are volunteers. And we absolutely love what we do. We want to get the message of making IT good for society out to everyone in the membership, but we need your help in order to be able to do that. So very grateful for any assistance that anyone can give us. One of the key areas that came out of last year's annual general meeting was that the branch wanted to do more with the students in the region, in particular our student chapters and engaging with student chapter activity. We certainly saw, I'm guessing, or you know, we haven't done any research around this, but due to the pandemic, there has been a decline in student chapter activity, which you can absolutely understand why. We want to be able to get more student chapters involved in the region. We are now the second largest branch in the UK, second to London. As we operate right across the M4 corridor, we do have some of the largest universities in Wales on our doorsteps, including University of South Wales, Cardiff, Cardiff Met, Swansea, Trinity St David's, just as an example. So getting involved with those student chapters is really, really important for us. It helps us get that message of early careers out there. It helps us to encourage more people, not only as members, but to become IT professionals in terms of our LSEPI and our ethical considerations. It's all really important for the strategy of IT in the country. So if you are in any way involved in education, if you have links with a university in the area and you do not currently or you are not aware of your university having a student chapter, then please get in touch with us, get in touch with me using the email again that I'll share at the end. I can put you in touch with the team at BCS HQ in Bristol that looks after the student chapters, and we can get the ball rolling to get them involved. It's a really simple process. As long as they have a student union-based official society, we can link that into a student chapter. I believe 2 people in the society have to be BCS student members, and the rest is plain sailing. So please do let us know, and hopefully we'll see more BCS student chapter activity the next time we meet for our next AGM. Some of our other priorities, both from last year moving into this year, are the new BCS policy and campaign priorities. They set them out in 2021 to extend to 2025. I won't read them all out. You can see them on the screen, hopefully. They are around how we make the UK a more ethical, a more environmentally friendly and a more professional society. Looking at the digital divide, for example, is one of the areas that I'm most interested in, and some of my colleagues on the branch are extremely interested in net zero and environmental. So again, these are the areas of the priorities for the entire BCS across the UK. If you feel that you've got something that you can contribute as a member, as a guest speaker, you have an interest, maybe there's a project that you're working on that you think that the membership, again, I can't say this enough, we are the second largest membership in the UK. Let's make use of that and get more and more people involved with some of the projects that we have going on. Other things, we're going to be continuing with our STEM and our Lego robotics initiative for schools led by Paul. We're going to continue looking to recruit new members to the South Wales Committee, improve our balance of diversity, gender and age. So again, we're looking for all areas of inclusion across both our branch membership and our committee. We want to try and engage more with local IT businesses. We've been trying to reach out to some of the engineering and spacefaring businesses and industries that are cropping up in the South Wales region. So if you know of anyone or you have contact with anyone who works in the industry of space, please let them know that we're trying to get in touch. We'd love to get them in to do an event. The Early Careers Executive, which is a relatively new part of the BCS. It used to be called the Young Professionals. The Early Careers Executive has taken a slightly different emphasis and focus on building the skill set and professionalism at any point in someone's career where they are looking to move into computing. So at any age, at any stage, you could be looking to traverse into computing. So we're there, or the Early Careers Executive is here to try and help you with that. Every branch across the UK will have an Early Careers Advocate, and they will be able to tie in specifically with anyone, individuals, organisations, universities, etc., that need that kind of support as part of their early careers programme. And we also want to continue our work within higher education as well, particularly student chapters, as we've said, and helping to get more student members involved in the organisation. So we're almost coming to the end of tonight's proceedings, and this is the election of committee members for the 2022-23. We'll do this in two parts. I'd like to take the mandatory roles of branch chair, branch treasurer, and branch secretary separately, and then we'll vote en masse for the other roles of vice chair, the co-opted branch chair, the industry liaison, and our new committee member who is on the call this evening, Mr. John Tucker, our computer heritage coordinator. What I would like to do, we've not received any new nominations. I am aware that some people have been in contact with us over the last few days and shown an interest in maybe joining the committee going forward. We'll be responding to you shortly, and we would hope to co-opt you onto the committee going forward. But as we've not received any official nomination forms, this will be the committee that we'll be voting for this evening. In Zoom, you should have access to the raise hand button. Let me just check if I can see where that is. Is everyone okay with how to access the raise hand button?
It's under reactions.
Under
the very bottom of the screen. Yeah,
brilliant. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to very briefly pause. Yeah, I will pause the recording while we're doing the voting. Okay, thank you very much. The results of the vote were that myself will remain as chair, Jonathan as branch treasurer and Mike as branch secretary, and Paul Bulmer, Fred Long and Rob Ludman and John Tucker have also been re-elected, or newly elected in the case of John Tucker, onto our committee. We are still looking for the early careers advocate and the inclusion and diversity officer. Those are mandatory roles in that we do have to have official nominations with a proposer and seconder, and they do have to be a BCS member. So if those are of interest to you, please still get in touch and we can have that conversation around possible co-option onto the committee until we can do the nominations at the next AGM. And again, if anyone else is interested in volunteering, you don't actually have to be a member to be able to volunteer and help out with the committee. So again, please get in touch if that's of interest. And just get my cursor. I've not been notified of any other business. I don't think there's any other business being put into the chat.
The only other business was from Ed Squires, where he mentioned potentially it would be worthwhile the branch sharing the videos for the changes to membership.
Yes.
So effectively it's the affiliate membership, but some of the affiliate members have been transferred to full membership, professional membership. That's
a really useful point. Yes, thank you both. We will, in that case, put that out as a membership email. The information, I won't share it here because it would probably involve me going back to the website and pulling up some more slides. So rather than do that now, I can signpost you by suggesting you have a look at the main BCS membership website. I will also then put out a members email with the links to the YouTube videos where I believe Holly, our head of membership for the BCS, presented yeah, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. It was a full presentation on the changes that were being made for membership, including the new charges and how everything was working. So I'll get that sent. Thank you very much for bringing that up. Is there any other business that anyone would like to raise?
Nothing from me.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm checking the chat and there's nothing there. In that case, all that's left for me to do is to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported us this evening, everyone who supports us year on, year out, both as a committee and as a member of the BCS community. If you want any more information, those are our links there, including my email address. Can I say again a huge, huge thank you to Jeremy, who has looked after me as chair for the last goodness knows how long, and he will be sorely missed by everyone on the committee. Thank you, everyone. If there's nothing else, I shall stop the recording, and I look forward to seeing you all at our next branch events.